Boy, it's been a while, hasn't it? So you're probably already aware about the whole Discord situation in which they're enacting a whole real ID system where you have to send in your face scan or whatever not to verify that you're an adult to use their platform now. Yeah, no, wasn't it that 5 months ago that you just had a data breach of over 70,000 IDs leaked to hackers and you want us to trust you with more data? I don't think so. But of course, they're saying, yeah, everything is going to be fine. It's only in the UK. It's not being introduced into the US yet. But just believe that's also going to come over here because guess what? They're going for an IPO. So they want things to look as best as possible for the investors, saying that we have child safety protection countermeasures in place. So it's all good. And the investors, that's all they need to hear. They don't need to see the actual users who are actually using this and their reaction to any of this because they simply don't care. And my question to Discord then is, why should we? Why should we care even more about a platform that continuously does the most it can to put our data and our privacy at risk? But I hear what you're saying. There's not really that many options out there, and you're kind of right. Honestly, I've actually been looking for a Discord replacement for a while now, probably like close to like 6 years, actually. I got close to a couple of options, but honestly, not everything hits all of the beats that Discord does. And let's be honest, Discord actually does a really good job of what they do in specific aspects of making things easier and building community aspects that we actually do love. We just hate the systems around it that is pretty much making things worse as the days goes on. So with all that being said, what else is out there? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of other alternative Discord platforms that you might want to consider. First up, let's start with Matrix. Now, Matrix I personally have run for about 8 years, actually. I have used it for chat for me and my fiance. I was actually going to deploy it for my family, but that's a whole different story, which regardless of what alternative Discord platform you go for, you're going to have probably an even harder time of trying to convince your community to migrate over to it. But that aside, Matrix actually performed relatively well for me. You can self-host it and you can actually use multiple clients with it. The stock option is a client called Element, which is actually provided by the Matrix Foundation itself. But personally, I used a different client called Childy Chat. Terrible name, terrible logo. Let's move on. And ultimately, while it doesn't offer a one-to-one experience like Discord, it gets pretty far. For the most part, it looks very polished. It performs relatively well. I get my notifications. It does voice chat. Pretty much most of the standard offering that you're looking for in a chat app is actually there. You can even do video and voice calls via Jitssi. But I think they're changing away from Jitssi, but don't quote me on that one. More on Jitssi later, by the way. You even have the option of federating with other services like Discord and even WhatsApp. So if Matrix is pretty good, why am I not using it anymore? Well, for starters, slow progression in the way that it's been improving. Like after 8 years, you're telling me you still don't have custom emojis? And yes, I get it that things had to be checked against the protocol because ultimately, yes, Matrix is a protocol like email and everything like that. And you have a lot of checks and balances to actually go for before you implement these changes into the protocol at large and everything. But come on, it's emojis. Why can't we have custom React and emojis after 8 years? I mean, we've been asking for it for years. It's still an open issue in the forums. It makes no sense to me. There's other things also, like the funding for the foundation itself. It has been in a pretty questionable state. There's also the whole CSAM issue that happened on the matrix.org server. Yeah. And on the self-hosting side, it is honestly a bit heavy. Honestly, I think my instance was averaging like about 9 gigs just on idle alone with nothing really happening and only 2 users. So once you start exponentially growing, those requirements are going to get huge. Admin tools are not the best in adminning this whole entire thing. And even though you do get an Ansible playbook to actually spin this whole thing up, just the process of just doing that, customizing it, and just having to use that in general just to get things going is pretty arduous. It's like, I just want a Docker Composer file just to spin this chat instance up. Not to mention onboarding the non-techie people, especially when you have to show them how to do the keys. And if they lose their keys, now that's a nightmare. Yes, Matrix does offer end-to-end encryption, and there's also a reason why Matrix is used by government agencies and everything like that, because of how secure it is. But it's also not really the most intuitive in a lot of aspects of things, in my opinion. That being said, probably the biggest reason was the CSAM stuff. Yes, if your instance is not federated, then you have a less likely chance of some of that content. Because if you don't know how Matrix works, like when a person interacts with another server that possibly has that stuff, it has a lot of that history stored on theirs, but also comes to your server. So that's some of the history and the distribution of that stuff could get on your server if you're not careful. Even though my instance isn't federated, and I have a less likely chance of that actually happening. And I'm pretty sure this is just me being overly worried about it. I don't want to be in a position where there's a specific exploit that maybe the development team doesn't see, and somehow that content gets on my server without me actually knowing, and me unknowingly being a distributor of that kind of content. That just rubs me the wrong way. Even though it more likely wouldn't happen, that's a big red flag for me. But even if I don't consider that, the other issues with the slow development progression, the emojis lack, just no real big improvements over the past 8 years of that I've actually been using it, that substantially says that this is a great experience for the common user, prompted me to actually just move on. But for your cases, if you're trying to find a quick place for a community, Matrix definitely could be an option. But I think there's other options that you should also consider. One of those options that I've actually moved over to is called Mattermost. And yes, I get it, and I get the irony of from the Matrix crowd of me moving over to Mattermost, a platform that has a lot of its features locked behind paywalls of some of the features that Matrix gives you out of the box for free. But for the simple case of what I actually need Mattermost for, which is just a general chat platform for me and my fiance, it works relatively well. Plus you get custom emojis. That's always a big plus for me. And the install is pretty much straightforward. It's just a Docker Compose file, and just with some customizations that you need to add for your specific instance, and you're boom, up in the races. I actually tried Mattermost a couple of years back, and I was having issues with notifications, but this foray of me actually using it now seems like they've actually improved a lot of aspects on those with the new upgrades. So right now, still testing the waters. It's still pretty much a new install since we've done the migration, but so far it's been pretty smooth. And just like Matrix, you can also use Markdown, which honestly is actually a big plus in any platform that actually is able to utilize Markdown, because now you can write big "I love you" texts everywhere. So that's a nice little plus, I guess. But like I said, voice and video are paywalled behind their paid service, which from what I could find, it's about $30 a month per user or something like that for the enterprise license, which is like, not very good. But also, I've been also seeing in the community that specific features that were free to the self-hosting crowd has progressively been put behind paywalls. So I don't know how long it will take for this product to be completely crap without you paying $1 for it. But for what I need it for right now, and at its current state, it's manageable. Do I think that this is a platform that'll be staying on forever? Probably not. And depending on how they develop things, I might be on here probably less than Matrix, but I guess we'll see. But honestly, I don't really need the video and screen sharing capabilities. For that, I could just use Jitssi. Again, with the Jitssi. Moving on, we have Spacebar chat. And to utilize Spacebar, you need to use the Firme chat client, which I guess uses the Spacebar server. I'm not entirely sure how the implementation goes, but whatever. It's a Discord-like, so pretty much if you use Discord, you probably can use Firme or Spacebar chat or whatever. I don't know which one they prefer to actually be called or whatever. We'll just go with Firme. There's no mobile app yet, but you can actually install it as a PWA. And for the most part, the experience was okay, I guess. But there was still a lot of jank that you can visibly see. And also in the mobile app, there's a lot of jank, especially when you're scrolling down. For whatever reason, every time I scrolled, the navigation bar would actually flip over to the right. I don't know if it was just because of where I was scrolling on the screen or something, but I think pretty sure it's a bug that they have to get out. But you do have a lot of your standard Discord features there. I haven't really gotten into the meat and potatoes on if like voice chat and and screen share and all that stuff is available, but you do have custom emojis. I swear, it's an automatic no if any of these chats do not have custom emojis. I'm sorry, it's one of the features in Discord that in some of the communities that I've been to that kind of makes and breaks experiences. Just the animated little icons on the bottom of a comment as a react, and just seeing a whole stream of them, and some that are customized to the community. I like that. I mean, it just adds a little extra, and I've always been trying to replicate that on all of my alternatives. Surprisingly hard to find. Overall, Firme looks like it could be a promising Discord-like. It just has a lot of polish that still needs to be put into it, especially like in the login screen. I know it's still rough. I still know it's in developments, and all that polish can come later once the core and of everything is all put together. So I'm not knocking it for that. I am knocking it for that mobile bug though that I found on the first try. So yeah, get on that, the devs. But so far, coming along. And the other Discord-like that seems to be pretty popular right now is Revolt, or God, I hate this name. I hate this name. I always call it Scout, but it's called Staot. I guess Staot is like a weasel of some kind. I don't know how you go from Revolt to Staot, a weasel. I know why they did it. They got a cease and desist and everything for their name, but still, a terrible name. Please change it. Please. Name aside, it's probably one of the more popular Discord likes that is out there right now. So much that getting registered to even try it is a hassle, probably because the influx of Discord people moving over to it as their as their first choice, bogged down the registration server or the registration process, keeping things hang up. I still can't get back on. I tried Revolt years ago, and it were moving along. It was coming along. It still wasn't there yet. But I wanted to give it another shot now for this video, and I simply just can't get in. That said, I think my main concerns are with the development team behind this. I've been seeing a lot of Reddit posts about the team actually being slow to implement new features. Like the last time I saw it, they still haven't implemented end-to-end encryption, and that was one of the big promises that they were going to implement like years ago. And still to this day, it's still not there. And if I remember correctly, the development team was a young college team of like just college friends or something like that, just putting this together on their free time. So yeah, I get it. But that also would also attribute to the slow developments of improvements over time. So take with that what you will. All that aside, so far, it seems to be the most popular Discord like out there right now. So give it a shot. It might be something that's worth it for you. Next up, we have Zulip. So Zulip is more of a Slack-like, looks a lot less like a Discord, but still pretty functional, but very utilitarian. It doesn't give you the custom nice look of the icons on your channels like some of these other options or anything. And it also has this different threading system for its conversations, which can take some time to get used to and even navigate sometimes. Personally, I really didn't like it, but for you, it actually might work. And it also offers custom emojis, so there's that too. And it has a mobile app, so I'd say check it out. So next we have Campfire, which is actually from the creator of Basecamp. Honestly, it looks pretty promising and very smooth and very easy to use. I just couldn't get it deployed. So it wasn't exactly obvious, or I just missed it on the website, but if you go through the free download steps that they give you, it gives you back an email which you have to use a shell script to deploy on your server, but it assumes that you're deploying this on a virtual private server with a private IP. So I was trying to put it on as a local hosted application, and I couldn't do that way for whatever reason. But I didn't realize this until recently, that they do have a Docker Compose install method way up here. It's not in the footer, it's not in the resulting email that they give you when you're trying to do the install, that's an option. So I kind of wrote it off as something that maybe I'll try later if I want to spin up an instance somewhere else in the cloud just to give it a shot. But now that that's an option, maybe I'll give it a try. With the exception of realizing that it doesn't do kind of custom emojis. Like you can do like a string of emojis, and you can do text-based emojis. I guess that counts, but you can't actually upload images and do your own custom emojis. I did ask about that in their GitHub, but I haven't received a response, so who knows if that's going to be implemented. Still, as a chat client option, for chat mostly only, I don't think you can actually do video with this, if I remember correctly. Seems like a pretty good option. And it also deploys as a progressive web app. So there's no actual app in the store for it. So you have to make a progressive web app using your browser, but that's whatever. And if you're familiar with Nextcloud, they have Nextcloud Talk, an application that for the longest I've tried to like and tried to use and have successfully tried and failed many times. Not because I couldn't get it working, it's because it's just not there yet. You can do reactions with it, you can't do custom emojis with it. I've seen questionable conversations about it with problems with notifications. So it's an option for maybe smaller groups, or like if you already have a Nextcloud instance spun up, you can give it a shot to see if it works for your community. Not the best offering, honestly, as opposed to everything else that I've mentioned before. I guess give it a shot to see if it works for you. And now we have a classic, XMPP. Now, I wasn't really too keen on what XMPP was until I actually started looking into it and spun up my own server for it. But it's basically a pretty old protocol, and from the looks of it, a pretty secure protocol, I guess based on the clients that you actually deploy with it. But it's like Matrix and email being its own protocol. And if I remember correctly, it's one of the protocols that is used in like the Nintendo Switch chat client or something like that, or like Nintendo uses it for parts of their chat client, and I think WhatsApp used it at one point before switching out. But it's a pretty robust protocol that has stood the test of time. And just like Matrix, you do have different clients that you can use with it. And my preference of when I was trying it was Monocles. And with Monocles, you can do end-to-end encryption with all of your conversations as well. But what you can't really do, as far as from what I could see, is that you can't do custom emojis either. You can do, it looks like you can do like custom stickers, but I didn't really get into weeds of actually getting that far to try that. So it wasn't really worth me investing the time to see if that actually worked or not. Conversations were okay. Chat tracking can get a little confusing with it, in which you don't have specific rooms per se, like the whole channel layout thing. You don't have any of that. You do have all of your different servers that you're joined to, but it all looks like a mass, like one board of just a stream of conversations. You can search through it, but it doesn't feel as organized as, say, like Discord. And that's, I guess, saying a little bit too much for the organization of Discord. I guess, depending on who you're asking on that part of the topic. That said, as a chat protocol or as a private chat protocol between different parties, like if you have your own server or family, it works really well. You can even do calls with it. For Monocle, you can have third-party implementations through Jitssi and through Zoom to do video and voice calls if your server is configured that way. So give it a shot. It might be an option for you. And last but not least, the client that I've been mentioning this entire video, Jitssi, which is basically just a video and voice chat client or integration into whatever chat platform you're using. Some of these chat platforms utilize it directly, like Nextcloud Talk, I believe, also uses Jitssi. Matrix used Jitssi. They may have actually transitioned to something else, but traditionally, I believe before the Element X stuff, they were using Jitssi. Very capable video and talk platform. If any of the other platforms don't have those voice and video capabilities that you're looking for, you can use another platform like Jitssi to handle that part of the things. Or you have other platforms too, like TeamSpeak or whatever that I haven't mentioned in this video at all. And yes, this is not an exhaustive list of every option out there that you can use as a Discord alternative. I mean, you've got Rocket Chat, you got TeamSpeak, you got Mumble, I don't know, you got Signal, WhatsApp if you're crazy, maybe even Telegram. Yeah, personally, I don't recommend the other ones I just mentioned just now. I'm just saying that those are options for you. But yeah, do some research, check out all the mentions that I've mentioned here in this video, and hopefully soon we'll get a very close spiritual successor to Discord, or maybe the next best thing. Or maybe we'll just all go back to email chains and forums and AOLs and instant messengers and the pigeons and all the other stuff that was back in the day in the 90s. Brings me back. Anyway, yeah, that said, I've been KJ. I'm not going to bore you with all the YouTube stuff. You know what to do. You've been on here long enough. So, catch you next time. Later.